Climate change is becoming a growing threat towards women and children worldwide. And the main focus of today's UN Global Climate Summit in Scotland will be on gender, as well as the growing climate-related health risks among pregnant women. Today's talks come as U.S. researchers find consistent evidence linking rising temperatures and severe weather disasters to many adverse pregnancy outcomes. So joining me now to discuss this is CBS News climate and energy reporter Cara Korte. Thanks for joining us. So listen, why single out and why the focus in particular on women and pregnant women? Are there increased risks?
There are, Anne-Marie, and I think this always surprises people. Whenever I bring it up to people kind of outside of the climate world, this surprises them. I think it's a little bit confusing. How is it that women can be more impacted by climate change than men? And the reason, according to the UN, is that women make up the majority of the world's poor. They also depend more on natural resources than men do. And the connection there, you have to think about the secondary threats of climate change, right? It's not just, are you in danger of your house burning down from a fire? It's also, do you depend on those natural resources to feed your children? And then do you then have to deal with the burden of that? Do you have to take care of your parents if they can no longer live in their home because it was destroyed by a hurricane? All of those burdens fall on women disproportionately. And then when you think about pregnant women, they're all different. There are various, obviously, subgroups of women that are even more affected by climate change. And pregnant women is one of those, mostly because pregnant women are fragile. They're in vulnerable states. Their bodies are already under severe stress. And so when you add more stressors to them, that climate-related risk increases.
So let's break it down. And I guess, in some cases it may be obvious. You talk about if you lose your house, then it's clear that there would be a health impact associated with it, probably so many that you don't even really sort of categorize them. So I'll ask you more specifically, what sort of health impacts are researchers seeing when it comes to women and their fetuses and, these varying, changing, extreme environmental conditions?
Mm-hmm. And it's two major factors, Anne-Marie. It's air quality and it's extreme heat. So extreme heat is a little more obvious, right? As it gets more warmer more often, all of us are under more stress, but pregnant women, again, it can cause more stress. It can lead to extreme heat for a pregnant woman can lead to anything from dizziness to cardiac arrest, which obviously is detrimental for the mother and the fetus. Now, when it comes to air quality, think about things like smog. Think about breathing in the air from a wildfire. There are even things called fine particulate matter, which is basically pollutants in the air, microscopic, that you cannot see, that all of us are breathing in, but really affects pregnant women because when all of us breathe in fine air particles, it can seep deep into our lungs. So for a pregnant woman, that means it can exacerbate respiratory issues or pulmonary issues, stressing a baby. But also, this is really the crucial thing, these pollutants can pass into a placenta. And when that happens, there's more blood rushing to a placenta, rushing to a mother's heart as well, and that can stress a baby. And these placenta issues, researchers have found, can lead to higher rates of stillborns, of low birth weight, and of premature births. And doctors know that all of those things can lead to lifelong issues for a mother and lifelong issues for a baby. So this is the connection between climate health risks, mothers, and their babies.
Are there certain groups of women or areas of the U.S. that are more at risk than others?
There are. Obviously, women with pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma are at greater risk, but also research has confirmed that the women most at risk are Black women in America. Part of that is because Black women are more likely, all Black people are more likely to live in areas of worse air quality. That's something called fence line communities that live close to fossil fuel plants and power plants where the air is worse. when I spoke to doctors about this, Anne-Marie, they said that you also have to consider the fact that a lot of Black women, women of color, are working women. Maybe they're standing outside for a bus. Maybe they're agriculture workers, farm workers working outside all day. So they are more likely to be subject to these elements. And what was really stressed to me by experts is that these climate-related risks are just exacerbating a pre-existing maternal health crisis in this country. The average American woman today is twice as likely to die from pregnancy complications than our mothers were a generation ago. And Black and Indigenous women are another 2 to 3 times more likely to die. So this problem already exists. It is super critical, and climate is just making it worse.
So, you talked about air quality, but the other thing that you had brought up earlier was heat. Obviously you can't move out of certain areas, or you can't move very easily. What advice can you give pregnant women in order to avoid the danger that heat poses during pregnancy?
Yeah, and being pregnant is already not a comfortable experience, right? So when you add extreme heat to that, again, you can understand why it stresses a mother and stresses a baby. When I spoke to doctors for this piece, Anne-Marie, they listed a few things. One is to avoid going outside. Now, you can go and check on the air quality in your area. There's something called the Air Quality Index. It can tell you how safe or unsafe the air is to breathe. A doctor said really simply, don't go outside and exercise. You don't want to be, huffing and puffing pollutant air into your lungs. Another thing is that you can wear a mask, which obviously we're all a lot more accustomed to now, a mask with a filter. And I said to this doctor, all of these things are really points of privilege, right? Saying, oh, I'm not going to exercise today, or I'm going to drive my car to work instead of waiting for the bus. And he completely acknowledged that, which again kind of shows the undue burden to minority women and working women, poor women in this country. I spoke to one researcher, though, that really wanted to sharpen the point that not enough people know that this is an issue. This is a researcher that worked for the Human Rights Watch group, and she looked at 105 documents about climate adaptation, heat risks, basically public information that's out there from 18 of the largest cities in the U.S. To help people be better educated around air quality and heat. And of these 105 documents from 18 cities, only 3 cities list the link between pregnancy, heat risks, and air quality risks. Only 3 cities out of the top 18 are making it publicly aware to pregnant women that they are susceptible to these dangers. Compare that, Anne-Marie, with the fact that the danger heat poses to pets was listed 32 times. As compared to 3 times for pregnant women. So that just shows the disparity that not enough people know about this as an issue. Not only patients, but doctors as well. This is not a spoken about issue.
Yeah, a total lack of priorities. Well, hopefully there will be more than just conversation coming out of this UN summit. Hopefully there will be sort of action and plans put in place to change some of what we've been talking about. Cara, thank you very much.
Thank you.